one of my favorite and most potent seasons of the year. And I must say thank you for joining me, coming into the space. My name is Jalen, and if this is your first time, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back to the space. My favorite season of the year, if you can believe it or not, is Halloween, Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, Day of the Dead. The season, because it's a season, it's Libra season, Scorpio season, all intertwined, as well as Virgo season too. And it's a season of admiring, appreciation, honoring, and observing our emotions, because it's a time where many of us are going through transitions and transformations, and the season itself is a transformation of all. And if nothing else, this is a video for me and anybody else who needs the reminder to hone in on your focus, your frequency, your faith, your persistency, and your patience. Patience has been a huge theme for me in the last coming months, I'll say the last 6 months.
I like the texture of all this stuff.
And
This is great.
it's been a prophetic lesson. Hi. A lesson where I've learned, and I actually just listened to one of my favorite YouTubers. She was speaking on the fact that our society, the media, a lot of it is either this or that, right? It's giving very black or white, as if you need to choose a certain spectrum or frequency. And the spectrum or frequency that you need to choose is the one for you, because the egregor or the energetic resonance or the characteristic of the nature of the energy that you flow towards is going to be based off of whatever you focus in and on, right? And I also just recently listened to an interview with one of my favorite basketball players, Jaylen Brown, and in the interview, Stephen A. Smith, I believe is his name. And the entire conversation was very, one, metaphysical, but also it was a very historical perspective. And Stephen A. was interviewing Jaylen Brown regarding comments that Stephen A. had made about Jaylen that he took offense to. And really it was a comment somebody else had made about Jaylen, and Stephen A., as a journalist, brought it to the forefront. And he basically summarized, Stephen A. summarized what he felt Jaylen could do better on or in. And it's so funny, I laugh because I'm like, it's like I'm talking to myself, because his name is Jaylen, right? And as like an OG in life, because Stephen A. is at least, let's say, 60 years old, like he's at least high 50s, maybe 60, right? And Jaylen, who just turned 28 years old, I believe, right? And he was basically telling him, like, I know that you feel as if you want to make a stance on a lot of things and be this almost irritating force in this industry, whether it's the hip-hop industry, the shoe industry, the NBA. And Stephen A. was like, look, like, young brother, you are missing out, or maybe missing out on many opportunities or money or whatever the case may be, because you are choosing to be this version of yourself that is not as malleable as these constructs, these corporations would like you to be. And Jaylen was like, yeah, and what about it? He like, I'm not selling myself, my image, my branding for a dollar amount, and it doesn't matter to me. He literally said, you can quote me, I don't care if I don't make it to the Olympics, the next Olympics, you know, when it's in LA. Like, if I have to sign with Nike or I have to do these things, then like, I don't care. I'm going to allow myself to be polarized in that way, even if it means I lose opportunities, is what he was stating. As somebody who has in the past stood for certain things where I knew opportunities may have been like lost, I really sat there with myself and I was like, does Stephen A have a point where he said to Jalen, are you possibly being a little selfish in how you're representing yourself and what you're standing for when you are self-sacrificing certain aspects of yourself to not be represented in certain spaces when other people need you to excel in those spaces, right? For example, Jaylen Brown just started his own version of Black Wall Street, right? He's also doing a lot of things for youth and minority youth specifically, and just a whole lot of beautiful, great things. And Stephen A. Smith is like, yo, like, you could have a whole lot more sponsors and support if you just didn't irritate a certain frequency, a certain group of individuals in the way that in which you are. And Jalen, he like, bruh, bump what you saying. I'm gonna be me regardless. I'm gonna say what I have to say regardless. I am not going to bend or fold or be malleable or contort myself or the way that I speak or the way that I come off simply to gain a likeness with these supposed influential people who could help me out in my mission. And the question that I pose to you and that I just been thinking to myself is like, is there this greater mission that we should all be focused on versus what the I feels should be vocalized and should stand for versus what we all should be standing for the encompassing group of the whole, of the entirety, of the bigger picture. Stephen A. Smith said to Jaylen Brown, are you looking at the bigger picture or are you fighting an internal battle within? And I like that he challenged him, because especially as somebody who's considered to be an elder, right, at least twice his age almost, Stephen A. is in a position where he knows what it's like to have to possibly be malleable for certain circumstances and audiences, to get what he wants so that he can project his message. And so I bring it back to the focus of each of our own individual prophecies, whatever that might look like to you, stating, what are you doing it for? And are you off kilter or off balanced or off your focus or off your rocker in any way, shape, or form simply because you feel like you want to prove a point to those whom are poking your bear, right? Who have upset you in any way, who look down on you in any way, who are making you feel less than? Or can you, in your own righteous way, whatever that sounds like or looks like to you, continue to project your frequency for the grandeur and greater picture for you, your family, your friends, your community, without going outside of that, almost wasting your frequency, your energetic tone, and fighting a fight with others energetically where it really don't matter. Hopefully that makes sense. It made sense when I listened to what Stephen A. was saying to Jaylen. And if you get a chance, check out the video. The interview, it's honestly phenomenal, right? And listening between the layers of what Jaylen is really fighting through. I'm gonna be really interested to see what the next 5 to 10 years hold for him, because of course he's gonna go through his Saturn return. They say we're much older at 25 than we are at 31. Like 31 is younger than 25 because 31 has reached the peak of your Saturn return, like a certain level of growth and maturity. So you're now able to start anew, kind of like this season that we're growing through right now. And so my question or gem that I want to leave with you to question is, are there certain battles that you're fighting within that are technically coming from without that aren't even worth or worthy of you giving, paying, literally dollars, paying, currency, paying attention to? Is that getting you off your rocker or your focus? Are you looking outside or paying attention outside your canvas in order to appease a different frequency, or not appease intentionally a different frequency? And is that in fact slightly self-sabotaging your overarching, your big picture goal? Hopefully that makes sense. And if that does, let me know. Let me know if you tap into Jaylen Brown's interview with Stephen A. Again, it was phenomenal. There were a lot of gems that I got from it. And everything we do and everything I try to do is being the most balanced version of myself. And sometimes that looks like doing a little bit more of this, and sometimes it looks like doing a little bit more of that. But never chasing an extreme of a certain situation or scenario. And I think with Jaylen Brown, Stephen A. was trying to articulate to him in the best way possible, posing the question, young brother, are you in any way diving into a deeper end than necessary as it pertains to your overarching future goals, big picture canvas, in what you want to do and be in life? Is it worth it? Are you able to touch the people, the dreams, the necessary end goal for us all, for it all, outside of yourself, outside of you? Can you go beyond your egoic feelings, your me, your I, all right? Reach and rise above that and interconnect with the omnipresent force. I know that was a little woo-woo at the end, but if you feel me, you feel me. And I think this is a beautiful lesson, especially during this time right now. So I love y'all. I like y'all. Click the like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.